Hi everyone, Sean McGuire here with New Vision Counseling and Consulting. And I'm so glad you joined me for key 5 of the 5 keys to a magic marriage. With each of these keys, we've prayed that you have implemented them each week so that you are building last week's upon this week's upon next week's, and now you're week 5. You are 5 weeks into this journey. So I am praying that God is moving in your marriage, He's moving in your relationships, and you are finding ways to really unlock God's best in these key relationships in your life so you can enjoy the magic, not in Disney, but in the marriage and relationships that you have in your life. So the 5th key, you're wondering, it is date, D-A-T-E. Now, I date my kids in a healthy way. I date my wife in a very different, but just as healthy way. Because a date is taking time to really focus on that person. To say that you are so valuable that I'm going to give you my undivided attention for an entire evening, or for these 4 hours in the middle of the day, or we're going to do a breakfast date for this hour and a half. Because we all want to know that we matter to somebody. We want to know that we are valuable and significant in the eyes of people that we love and that we pray love us back. And this is a consistent way that you can refute the lies of the enemy that you don't matter or that people don't care. This is a consistent way that you can continue sowing seeds of love in a life that has a lot of adversity and distraction and different things that will pull you apart in your marriages and your time with your kids. And so my recommendation is to do a weekly date. Now, depending on your season of life, if you have little kids, this date might look like you guys locking the door, barring the windows, and huddling in your room watching a movie with popcorn and eating and enjoying that time. It could look like a walk around the park while you drop your kids off at your mother-in-law's house, because that's all the time you've got, an hour and a half. Or it could look like a cruise. It could look like a lot of different things. That would be a long date, right? A cruise. It could look like a lot of different things. What I would say is the consistency and the intentional focus on the other person is what makes a date special and separates it from any other time you have in your life. Because every day I come home from work, I have all these different obligations and responsibility to my kids, to my family, to my neighbors, to the people that I work with. We just have all these things vying for our time. But on a date, the phone's away, your eyes are locked, and your ears are available. And on a date, you can print off dateable questions. Questions to ask on a date. Now, these can be so funny and they can be so deep. I suggest you enjoy both of them when you go on a date. And don't feel like you've got to get through all of them. Because if you just do 1 or 2, that might be all you need to get the conversation rolling. If you don't do these dates, what can happen is your marriage and your relationships become transactional. They're just business dealings. Hey, where are the kids? Okay, I'm going to work Saturday. Okay, we have enough money for a couch, but we don't have enough for the love seats, so we'll save. When do you want to go on vacation? And it just becomes the humdrum of daily life. But who wants to live like that? And what happens is the romance, the fun that you once enjoyed starts to decline, and all the obligations start to increase, and then your love starts to wane, the emotions start to go away, and before you know it, your love tank is empty. This is where affairs happen. This is when people get burned out, depressed, and anxious. I remember in a season of our life, we hadn't taken a date or really invested in a long time in an intentional, good, healthy way. And we went on a date, and it was weird. I was like, I married you. But getting the conversation started was really challenging. And getting past talking about our kids, getting past talking about our finances or work, and just getting to know each other and our hearts again required effort because it had been so long since we journeyed down that road. So today, what can you do to date that person you love, whether it's your spouse? I take my kids on dates, and it is so valuable. They talk about these dates unlike any other experience. My wife, we go on dates, and it's unlike the time that we have in family devotions. It's unlike the time that we have at a Thunder basketball game, because it's just us and nobody else around, and we're the focus of the evening or the day. I hope this was really helpful, and I hope these 5 weeks have been amazing. So, do you remember all 5 of them? What's number 1? Number one is partings. What do you do when you say goodbye? How do you say goodbye? The second one is reunions. How do you say hello? How do you greet the person or people that you love in your life? The other one is admiration. How do you admire the person that you love? Do you compliment them? How do you see them? What lens do you look at them through? The fourth one is affection. How do you show love? Are you touchy-feely? Which I suggest all of you get to more of a touchy-feely place. And then the fifth one is dating. How do you date? Do you even date? Well, guys, I really pray that you are implementing these and continue to implement them throughout your life. They really will make a magical difference to create a magical marriage. And here's a great way to remember. Have you prayed today? P-R-A-A-D. Have you prayed today? This is something you need to ask your spouse. They can ask you, your friends. Get an accountability group and ask each other, have you prayed today?